Hello and welcome to the most underrated show on the internet.
We're What's with the Lemon, and we're here to make your sweet day sour.
All right, guys. So it's obviously been,
Oh
4
my.
or 5 years.
I was tempted to look on our channel
We should have.
when we last did something, and I'm pretty sure
Oh God.
it's our Call of Duty Let's Play.
It was definitely our last one.
Yeah. Which was when we were in the glass house.
Was it? No.
It was in the glass house.
No.
It was.
I thought it was when you had your apartment.
Nope.
Okay. Real quick for everyone because no one's going to know us anymore. My name is Joseph Allen.
And I'm Justice Allen.
And we did a Let's Play channel that had maybe 60 people that watched it.
I think you mean 16 million people?
We were the most underrated Let's Play channel.
No,
in all.
it was a small...
But it was really fun.
It was so fun. We
So-
enjoyed ourselves.
And through that time we had a few other people on What's with the Lemon, but we're the OGs.
We're the originals.
And we started it in South Africa.
Yes, on, I believe, my Samsung Pocket phone.
Oh my, dude, going back to those things are the absolute worst experience to listen to.
They're really bad. Not to mention, we did it in like what was like you could attribute it to being like a closet, but also it was a bee cemetery.
Yes. So this episode is going to be very much a little bit of a journey of how we got here and why we are here. We're both two brothers.
Two brothers.
A year or two apart.
Yep.
And
I'm adopted.
You are. We never really wanted to tell you, but we waited till today.
There's definitely signs.
Yeah.
There's definitely signs.
But yeah, so we grew up in South Africa.
We did.
How old were you? I was 9 when we moved.
And you were about to turn 10.
Yeah.
And I was 11.
Okay.
So me and Joe are just a year and a half apart, basically. So we're pretty close.
Yeah, and we had an amazing farm, a lot of people that we loved, and like we grew up there. That was our teenage years. It was absolutely amazing.
It was our home. It was totally different than the Americas.
The Americas, which we've now been in for 7 years, 8 years?
8 years.
Good God.
Well, actually, Joe, 9. Because
Is this
we
9?
came back in 2015 and it's 2024.
Wow.
It's been 9 years.
So we were excommunicated from South Africa.
Were
We are
kicked out.
undesirable. We're not welcome there anymore for at least another year.
At least another year. That's an interesting story. So we lived in South Africa for 11 years. We had to, every 3 to 4 years, apply for a new visa as we were there. And I'm not going to speak bad of the African system.
Look,
but
as we all know, every system screwed up.
it's pretty bad. We paid for an extension, like a 3 to 4 year extension, twice and never got it.
I thought it was a permanent residency that we paid for.
No, it was just an extension.
Oh.
We just paid for an extension on our visa and never got it.
That
Twice. And even in one, we actually lost the extension because it flew away in the wind.
I was not there that day. I've just heard stories about you, like,
Our sister was illegal before us.
yeah. But like Mary Poppins, you were practically chasing down these papers as they were flying away from
some
you.
very official forms were flying in the wind, and I was doing my best to catch them. Mind you, I was like, what, 15? And
15, a
husky
chunky kid.
But I ran, man.
Dude, I would have loved to
I
see
got
it.
2 out of 3. But I was happy to find out that it was our sister.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
We have, is it 4 other siblings? Because there's 6 of us, right?
There's 6 of us.
I sometimes have to remember.
Yes. 3 of us went to South Africa with our parents.
Yes, we're part of a younger 3. And then there's a 10-year gap between us and them.
Yeah.
For the most part, we're all really close, though.
Yeah. And the main reason they didn't come was they all had families, and
they were
at
much
that
older
point they
than we
were
were.
adults. We were still kids.
Yeah.
But like, I have There was bad times, but I only have fond memories of Africa. Like I
And
loved it so much.
speak for yourself, bro. I did some really stupid things over there.
You were a joy
I
throughout.
was not a joy. I was terrible.
So we made obviously gaming content because we are huge
We're
gaming
huge
nerds.
gamers. We've been nerds since. I mean, I always tell people that I started gaming when I was 3 years old.
Yeah, about the same time you started to fall in love with women.
Probably pretty close.
You were a romantic from a very young
I
age.
was, man. Shoot, I could really throw them out there every once in a while. But
But both, I would say, huge Microsoft fans.
yes,
We are Xbox gamers through and through.
we were the Xbox boys.
Yeah. You at now, like we're sitting in your basement.
Yes.
In America, you have an amazing house.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm looking at an Xbox, a PlayStation, another Xbox, a Switch.
But he
Yes.
just needs to relax.
Yeah.
Lay down.
It's
Good
okay.
job, buddy. Good job.
We'll see what gets cut and what doesn't here.
No, it's fine. He's a Chorky. He's a Chihuahua Yorkie.
Yeah.
He's very cute.
Yeah. So, I guess we didn't really go into too much in Let's Plays.
Do you mean like into?
Life stuff like you do in a podcast,
No.
I would say. But like, yeah, you have a home. I have a home.
Yes, we're extremely successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Don't you know that? I mean, we saw all the betas and we decided we're going to be two alphas and we're going to get two homes and we are going to just rock all the world. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yes, I own lots of.
Dude, look at the list. Look at the list.
Looking at the list, I own nothing. So, no, we're doing well, but it has been a process. We did Let's Plays pretty fast after getting back to the States, but when we had to play catch up so much.
Yeah.
Because being over there on
We didn't have like a work.
temporary
Yeah, we didn't have a work
we
visa.
we
so-
couldn't really build ourselves a future. We couldn't even get our license because we weren't legally citizens there.
Yeah.
So when we came back, I was 22 and you were 20, 21.
I was turning 21. So.
And we had to hustle
Yeah,
to
dude.
catch up.
And we did. So we've also been extremely lucky.
Yes.
And we've worked a lot of jobs together
Yes, we have.
in the same buildings, which I guess some people would consider a curse, potentially. But I've always enjoyed it for the most part.
So the one huge benefit I always think about when having like siblings that are close in age is that they're either going to be best friends or they're going to hate each other's guts.
Or a little bit of both at the same
A little
time.
bit of both, but luckily for me and you, it was usually loving each other.
Yes.
And we were the best of friends because, especially moving to a different country, we were all we had.
Yeah, I mean, like, not a lot of people have the same experience we did, and like, we weren't missionaries.
No.
That was the closest thing. Like, if we were going to tell someone, it is more simple to say we were missionaries.
Yeah. It
but
makes
that-
the most sense. If you try to tell people, it's like, no, well,
Yeah.
there was reasons and
There's no way to really explain. Like,
No.
they would never understand. So, they could never. We had this huge part of our lives
huge.
that it was almost like I always felt like I just couldn't really talk about. Like, there was no point to talking about.
Not to mention, I feel like, and this is not a dig on anybody, but like, if you haven't lived in another country or in another culture, you don't appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Like, and then also surprisingly, like, you also long for what you did have once it's gone.
Yes.
So like, I remember both of us being so excited to move back here.
Oh my God.
Like, it just
This is gonna be the greatest thing
we
ever.
had to sell our property over there took about 2 years,
Yeah.
and it was horrible.
Yeah. It was just like pause on life.
Pause on life. Couldn't do anything when we're both young men wanting to like start something,
Yeah.
right? And we couldn't do any of that. And then we we get over here, and we're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
culture shock.
Yeah. And it's not like we live in a huge city.
We don't. We live. Should we say where we live?
I think we said we live in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, we live in Spokane, Washington. It is a respectable city.
Yeah.
Like size-wise.
Yeah,
but
but
it's not huge.
it's not huge. But it feel like it was so big to us.
Comparatively, yeah.
We lived in between two really little towns.
Yeah, one was like a surfer town, and then the other one was just literally just a small blink and you miss it town if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, and we were kind of right in the middle.
Yep.
So at least for me, like I still like when I think of my dream house or dream property, it's always like some kind of farmland somewhere because it's just out where no one is around.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
Peaceful, quiet. You can see the stars.
The stars.
The stars. Yeah, dude. Those nights, bro, the Milky Way just over us, like we didn't even realize what we had until it was gone.
You're married now.
I am married.
How long have you been married?
I've been married now. This is come November is my 6th year of marriage.
I hate that. I actually hate that is real.
I got married in 2018.
It's amazing. Like amazing. Yeah. But time sucks.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I was like 3 years. You guys have been together for like 3 years, right?
6 years.
I
also have a child.
You have a little baby.
I have a little mini me.
And I was playing with the baby today.
Yeah.
I don't play with kids.
No.
Like, I'm very scared of children.
Yeah, he's uncomfortable with the fragility of childs.
Yeah, but I love your son. He's so cute.
Goofball.
It is amazing.
He loves people. He loves playing around. He makes kind of like me. Mm-hmm. People got to be watching when he's doing something.
He is going to either plan to destroy the world or save it. There's no in between.
Though, if he does choose to destroy it, I wouldn't want to be on it against him.
Yeah, me neither.
I feel like he would figure it all out. He wins
easily. He's dedicated enough to make it work.
Yeah, I've been married 6 years, have a little kid. Definitely want more in the future.
Nice.
You're not married.
I'm not married. I do have a house.
You do have a house.
But my big accomplishment is I'm gonna see how many times I have to get knee surgery.
Yes, dude. Oh man. For those of you who don't know, Joe has been a cripple for
that's just my new
2
identity.
Years,
coming up 2 years, pretty much.
God.
I've had 2 surgeries.
Yes, you have.
They were both got worse each time. The first one was painful.
Yeah.
It was very painful.
Right.
And I had a lot of...
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain?
When I had the first surgery, it was a 9.
What about the second one?
We'll get there. I had such... I am so thankful for everyone in my life at the time and still in my life that helped me through that first surgery. It was huge. Mm-hmm. And then I had to get a second surgery, and that surgery made the first surgery feel like nothing. It turned that 9 of the first surgery to like a 5. The second surgery was so painful. They had to break the bone under my kneecap, fix the first surgery, do a bunch of other doodads to help hopefully make my knee better.
Were either of them a success?
No. Well, the second surgery was a success, technically.
Oh, man.
And I am so incredibly thankful for that second doctor.
Yes,
he is amazing.
He did his best.
And he's going to be my third surgeon. For the third surgery. I have a surgery, another one coming up.
Yes, you do. He is not done with the whole...
I don't have the date as of this recording, but it is coming.
Oh, it's such an ominous thing to think about.
Oh my God. So
that's so brutal.
Hopefully, we can find a way to make this podcast work with that.
I'm just theorizing. Can these record from different houses?
No, you have to come over, and I would be
loopy.
Yeah, on so many oxys.
And he doesn't have a pill addiction. Amazing.
I'm fine. You're fine. I'm fine. You're fine.
Joe.
Yeah.
What was your last one? It has been a rough 2 years.
It's been rough. It's been without getting into all the detail. Like, I made some really hard decisions, but I think important ones and good ones. And it was definitely one of the hardest points in my life, which I think is one of the reasons why I really wanted to come back to doing something with the channel.
Something that we both love doing.
Yeah, like
something that's simpler.
What's with the Lemon has never been successful before.
But if you're not successful, Joe, The only way you could go is up.
Exactly.
So
But I missed being with you.
Yeah.
Like we used to work together before my injury.
yes,
We were both delivery guys, and
yes. Me and Joe, if you can picture it, which I can't. You probably don't remember what we look like, but we.
I got that little animation thing of us
Oh
from
sure,
so
yeah.
far ago.
We lifted refrigerators, washers and dryers and ovens together. That was
Yeah.
our job. We were appliance installers.
Uh-huh. Sounds so manly.
It is Superman like.
And now we're just podcasters.
Well, I still live for it.
That's true. The original goal was for me to get back to that point.
Yes.
I think unless I get a cyborg or a
Full-on,
robot
like,
leg,
knee replacement.
yeah, that's probably not going to be in my future.
Nope. It's hard to do those squats with those 350-pound refrigerators with a broken knee.
Yeah.
It's not always the best, but that goes into, like even you were saying, we have always loved to do things together.
Yeah.
We've always loved to game together, to play outside together. We were always together.
Yeah.
In fact, there were times in our life where we were separated, and those were not good times.
No. And I don't even think like I realized at the time. Like I was like, I'm okay with this. Like, like I miss my brother, blah, blah, blah. And then it's kind of like, oh, something is missing. Like
Yeah,
it's
something-
actually missing. It's weird.
So you guys all know Bo. He's a big part of this.
From the very famous and much more successful The Mr. Bo and Joe Show. That Bo.
That
He was also in Africa with us, one of our best friends.
one of our best friends, a brother, basically.
Yes, yeah.
He informed me when we were apart that you were unwell.
Wait, what?
In fact, anybody I talked to, whatever, so there was a few times in the years that we were in Africa where we'd visit, and one time I came to visit by myself.
Yes.
Because usually we would visit all together, and I went to visit for myself before I started a character building school that we had in Africa, and anytime I talked to anybody, they'd be like, "So, Joe's not
Joe's not okay.
Joe's not doing so good," and I was just like, "What? He's not." That being said, on the flight over, I was watching Lord of the Rings.
One of the greatest
one of our
movies
favorite
yeah.
movies of all time. We watched it way too many times, or not enough.
That's what's not enough.
I was sitting between two very nice homosexual men.
Nice.
And
Were they eyeballing you?
only after I started crying. Listen, there's just a lot of scenes. There's a lot of scenes in that first few movies.
You got Frodo and Sam, Merry and Pippin,
Oh,
like.
man. And then I was just looking at it. I'm fine. I'm okay.
There was so many nights. So one of our really big things we did, if we weren't playing games together outside, we watched a lot of YouTube together.
A ton.
We were really into Rooster Teeth,
Game
Grumps.
Grumps.
You had a few other guys I can't really think of.
Vanoss. And
Yeah.
all those guys.
But like that was our nightly routine. We watched stuff together in the morning. And I remember just trying to watch stuff without you. And it felt like I would laugh and turn to the side.
And
And
I
you
wasn't
wouldn't be there. And it would be, I was so sad.
Dude.
It was so, we also shared a room till we moved back to
Back to
America.
here, which means you had two 20-some-year-olds
It's
stuck
just
in a room
ridiculous.
together. And if you can believe it, in that close proximity, we only fought maybe a handful of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a handful.
Yeah. I
Like,
probably could count on one hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just awesome. But yeah, it was, we've been together. And
Yes.
that's the biggest thing. And we want to do something together. We want to make something together.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is why we push for our Let's Plays, or we push for all the stuff.
Even just working together.
and working together. We just wanted to be with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that there's other siblings who have that kind of bond, but we're very fortunate that was how we ended up.
Yes. Yeah. Because we've seen the opposite. Oop, I knocked something over.
That's right.
We've seen, family members not be that close. I feel super lucky. And it's always fun to do so. You're so fun to make fun of. You're fun to be around.
Do you know how hard I've had to work to not react?
No. No.
Freaking
Because
hard.
you still react to this day.
Yeah, but it's different.
Like you were saying, the last video we put out was a freaking Call of Duty Warzone video. And it was my first win. My first dub,
Your
as the
first
kids
win?
was on my profile.
Oh.
And you still
Oh.
you still have to,
Oh.
it still maybe hurts a little bit.
Oh my god. It was I remember just looking at it like there was a moment of elation of winning. And I was just like, that was on your freaking profile.
So good.
And I was like, what the heck? If you guys haven't watched it, it's actually pretty hilarious. There was some maybe leg.
Much leg. Much leg.
Still somehow won. I don't think I was actually hittable.
No.
To be honest.
I wasn't. It was my profile. We just want to get together and talk. So most days it'll probably be about video games.
Yeah, video games, but listen, we're really
Listen,
big
Linda.
nerds. We're really big nerds. You get people who are nerds in some things, but
Yeah.
me and Joe,
We
between the two of us,
Yeah. We love wrestling.
yeah. And when I say wrestling,
We're talking about real wrestling.
we're
WWE wrestling.
wrestling entertainment.
The real stuff. Don't give me that weird
Mat
rolling
wrestling.
on the ground, sweaty dudes all putting each other in weird holds. I want to see some drop kicks, some choke slams, some RKOs.
We'll have to talk about why we're so into
Yes.
wrestling at some point. But then we're also into comics.
Pretty big comic. It's been less so, but we
It's
still
because
love that
friggin'
world.
Disney.
But games we love.
Yeah. video
And we have a
games,
lot of
books.
passions that we don't necessarily share, but we both really like. You're a very big anime guy.
I love anime.
And it's one of those things that you've tried to get me into, and you've
I've succeeded on some of them.
And some of them.
Some of them. And some of them are yours.
Yes, I have as the people that do or have watched the videos know, the Let's Plays, I have a very strange, obsessive personality sometimes.
Yes, actually, here's the thing. You actually, I've thought of this. It's not obsessive.
Okay.
It's stalker.
Oh no.
Well, here's my point.
Oh no.
Because half the things you're into
Yeah.
are things that other people showed you,
What?
and not
What do you
things
mean?
you discovered yourself.
What do you mean?
So, like, I was a huge Red versus Blue fan.
Huge.
Huge.
I hated it.
And it took me so long to get you into
Yeah,
it.
I hated it. I hated it.
And then
Hated it.
And then
For like the first
you know
two
what?
seasons.
You know what? Stalker, bad word. I take it back. Thief.
I prefer Heister.
Yeah, you are a heister because he'll take what was yours and make it his. And then it's no longer yours.
I
So
got so obsessive.
so Rooster Teeth became your baby.
Oh my god, I loved it so much.
I cannot remember, but I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
I also was the first to get into Game Grumps.
Yes, yeah, I got into Achievement Hunter. I loved Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
And showed you Achievement Hunter.
Yes, and I also like Achievement Hunter.
And then
Classic.
Classic. The OG Achievement Hunter is some of the greatest. But then you tried to show me Game Grumps, and I thought they were the stupidest people. Just like I thought Red vs. I have a really hard time accepting new forms of media.
Apparently, I didn't realize this.
I'm
is
just
a
gonna
thing.
trash on it for a while.
Trash real hard.
And then Game Grumps is the greatest. It's the greatest thing the internet's ever produced. Other than this podcast, is the greatest thing the internet's
It's
ever done.
brought Aaron and Dan. If you ever watch this,
You mean Arnold?
yeah, Danny and Arnold. Gonna pre. if you ever listen to this podcast, which I don't know why you would, but
If you do, we'll happily have you on.
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
we'll have you on our podcast.
Yeah.
You two got us through some actually really hard times.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
and I'm sure
so-
they've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
But it's just true.
it's just true.
It's true.
And it's not like listen, we're not idolizing you guys. We understand that it's entertainment, but like when we were waiting to move from Africa, like there was very few things to look forward to in the day.
Yes.
And one of those was
That's when
watching
they released 2 episodes a day.
and we were just like, yes,
Oh my God.
more in the evening.
It
We
was
got it going
so
on.
nice. And then, so when me and Bo lived together,
Yeah.
me and him got really into it too.
Yes.
And that became one of our nightly things. And
Game
it
Grumps.
just, so many amazing memories
Yes.
of, and that's one of the reasons we love Let's Plays. Like,
Yes, we love Let's Plays. We grew up in that time when they got big.
And then, but even before Let's Plays, that's what we did on the farm. You would play a
Yes.
game and a bunch of us would sit and watch and talk.
We just talk. You guys would make fun of me
Yeah, as we should.
all the time. Listen,
Some of our best series on the channel, like Ninja Gaiden and Red Dead, like
wasn't Ninja Gaiden our best? It wasn't one of them. We got farthest into it.
yeah, I can tell you what our best was. You won't want to hear it.
What was it?
Life is Strange.
Oh my god!
Yeah, which is
Speaking of things
one of the
that
greatest
I will
games.
never love.
Yeah, it is. It's the greatest thing ever. So played it with Calvin. I played it with Calvin, and I played it with Marielle. Both those series
Where I
did some of our
but
best
not as
views.
good as our top fives.
Our top 5s did great, but the South
For
African,
where we were.
South African algorithm really helped us.
When we were posting in Africa, not many people posted in YouTube in Africa, so it boosted our stuff.
Yes.
So we would have, and mind you, there's still very low numbers, but like while over here we get like 100, maybe 120, 60. To
A lot of times it would be like 40 to 60.
We were getting like 6 to 1,000, like 600 to 1,000.
Yeah, every video got a little bit above 300.
So we had
Easily.
like a small group of people
Yes.
that liked our stuff.
Yeah.
And then we came over here and we're just like,
Where'd they all-
where'd they all go?
What?
What happened?
Granted, we did take probably a year or 2 before we
get back
posted.
up.
So,
Yeah.
and YouTube changed a lot during that process.
Yes, and it's still very different than what
Yeah.
it was, and which is fine. But like when we're like you'll see, like a lot of this podcast, I imagine will just be us talking about things that are important to us
Yeah.
and things that we like. Like it's not going to be any one thing specifically.
No.
Maybe one podcast will be dedicated to something crazy in wrestling that happened.
Oh my God. There's so many things currently that we could talk about there.
The Wyatt
The Wyatt Six. And Microsoft just had their conference.
Dude,
like,
they had
there's a
their
lot of.
conference. There's so much to talk about, and we, for now, we can only really record once a week.
Yeah.
So we won't be posting tons and tons of content right away.
No. We want to at least do a weekly podcast.
Yeah, a weekly
That's
podcast
kind
for
of
now
where.
is our goal.
Yeah. And I think that's very manageable.
It is manageable, especially if we're thinking like what 40 minutes to 45 minutes for now.
Yeah.
Or just if we're talking and it just keeps going, we just keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's me and Joe. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna.
I know we don't have.
I was gonna say me and Joe could talk for ever about ridiculous stuff.
Not that we would suggest or force you guys to listen to all that.
But not very long ago, I was just told that I'm a bad conversationalist.
By who?
You.
What? No. No, why would I want to start a podcast with someone that is a bad conversationalist?
That's what you said. You said.
Now, are you talking about over the phone?
Yeah.
Guys, it's the first episode, so I don't want to get angry on the first episode.
You would never.
Justice is the worst type of human.
Impossible.
He calls on his way home from work.
Because I love you.
It sounds super sweet and nice.
I just want to talk to my friends.
Okay, let me tell you 2 things. The first one, we've all gotten used to, so maybe it's not as bad. As soon as he pulls up to his house, I could literally tell him I have cancer. I could be in the middle of that sentence. As soon as he pulls up to his house, he immediately, gotta go, bye, got home, see you guys, goodbye. It doesn't matter what we're talking. Like, that was a hypothetical, but we have been in the middle of really deep conversations. And it's just, I'm home now, so I refuse to talk to you. Even though
so
a
sorry.
phone can travel with you. It's like if it's not on your car speaker, you don't want it.
Well, it's always through headphones.
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
yeah.
It doesn't even matter. I'm going to go to the second one. Because
Okay.
this has made it even worse.
Oh no.
When I say this actually makes me angry,
Oh no.
it actually makes me angry.
Oh, no. Is this a new thing I'm learning?
No, I told you it every
Okay.
time.
Okay, what's that?
You'll call me and immediately say, "You're on a conference call, Joe. You are not only on the phone with me, but someone else." I hate that.
You don't even let the comedic value on it?
I'm all for community, man. I hate that. I hate it so much. It actually makes my blood boil.
Jeez, I didn't
And
realize.
you had to have. Because
didn't
you
realize
called
it was
me
this
and I've
intense.
gotten very angry. Like you're like, "You seem annoyed, Joe." Oh, do I seem annoyed?
You don't like talking to multiple people at once?
No, not a
Listen,
phone call.
So here's the flip side of this coin.
Okay.
I love conference calls.
You suck. It's so annoying.
It's so
annoying.
it's so efficient. I can talk to two people at once.
Uh-huh.
It's just great.
It's so annoying.
It's actually increased my networking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Between me and your wife?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
The two main people in my life.
Yeah? How much, yeah? You getting some good business opportunities with that networking?
Define good business
Okay.
opportunities.
Is this a PG podcast?
I would at least say
'Cause
Peggy 16.
Peggy 16? All right. I thought you were going to say pegging something else, but
No, Peggy 16.
yeah. For the most part, this will be a very clean...
Is it Peggy over here? Or is that in Africa?
That's in Africa, dude.
What's this one over here?
PG 13,
No, but for
16,
games. For games.
18. Is it not PG?
No.
I don't know. What is it?
Peggy?
Is it everything Peggy?
I don't know.
Honestly, I'm so used to just seeing product not yet rated.
That does happen a lot. Even though, like, in the trailer, like...
There's blood and gore and
like,
sex
well,
and...
it's definitely not PG.
Yeah.
It is definitely not that. Listen, about the phone calls, I do feel like I owe you an apology, but it would not be sincere, so I'm not going to continue with that.
I don't need an apology. I need you to stop doing it.
But so, what I'm hearing is that you're jealous.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. Whatever it takes to get you to stop doing it, I will admit to that.
Let us know in the comments if anybody else ever likes conference calls. Talk to more people at once.
No one likes conference calls.
Why does nobody like conference calls?
I don't know.
What if you need to talk to two people?
Call one, hang up, call the other.
Oh, that's so inefficient.
I also don't talk to people on the phone.
I think I might be the only one.
You love phone. This is 2024.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have crippling anxiety about calling anyone.
You'd think, but so I'm also a part of a youth group. So I work with teenagers.
Yep.
I got called by one the other day.
No way. And what?
Like 6 times.
Why?
For him to communicate the most basic of information that he could have sent through a text.
Text. How that make you feel?
Well, considering that I was like
Lifting stuff probably at the time?
no, I was feeding my child, trying to get ready to go to the youth event, and like talking to my wife at the same time, and he kept calling.
Yeah.
I finally just told him just like he answered the phone and he wanted a ride.
Okay.
And he told me I'm near church.
Okay.
And I was like
Walk?
no, so he's just like I was like, okay, well I'll come pick you up at church. He's like, no, I'm downtown.
What?
And I was just like, for those of you who don't know, which you wouldn't, our church is not downtown.
It's complete opposite
It's
direction.
way north. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, across from like the courthouse. I was like,
Why is he at the courthouse? What do you do?
nothing. But so I was like, what? It's like, you're not. That's in the opposite direction of where I'm going. It's almost time. Like
There's no way you picked him up.
I didn't.
I know you. There's no way you picked him up.
Here's the craziest thing. He just like I go and tell him as we're talking on the phone, hey man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick you up. Silence. and I hear someone talking in the background, and he just like, I'll call you back, and he hangs up on me.
Oh God.
And then
No.
I get a text.
Uh-huh.
You don't need to pick me up. I don't think he registered half the conversation we were having.
Why was he downtown?
He plays basketball, and apparently there was an event across from the
Okay.
courthouse,
Okay.
which also was at a church that was across from the courthouse. He just said, "I'm at church."
Church.
He wasn't specific.
Well, good thing there's only one church in Spokane.
Yeah, I don't think that's true for any city. I'm pretty sure there's at least 20 in each city.
There could be a small town of 10 people and there would still be 3 churches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Different opinions.
I mean, we go to different
We
churches.
do go to different churches.
But look at us, still in the same room together, still communicating.
God, you have the worst theology.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I might. But I'm still showing up.
All right.
And that's important.
Some people find my theology a little crazy. We might
Some
even
people-
talk theology on some of our podcasts.
That's a good way to lose every viewer.
Actually, we might lose some, but we might gain others.
That's true.
You know?
Although, what I've learned... Get out of here, dog. Not that the dog couldn't be in here, but it was going to lick all the equipment and...
Mainly you, actually.
Yeah, I'm equipment.
Yeah, yep, you are.
What was I going to say? I was going to say that I think most Christians in our lifetime have probably disliked us more than liked us.
You think so?
I do. I think we've always been a little bit of a polarizing, obviously the Christian world is already polarizing enough,
It can be.
but I think we have always been polarizing within that subsection anyway.
Yes, I think you're probably right. And here, we don't go out to try to trigger anybody. That's not the point.
I do.
I know you do, but I was trying to give
Especially
you the benefit of the
anyone that doesn't like Life is Strange, I'm going after.
doubt. I don't like life.
That's why I'm going after you.
Oh well. Guys, side note: when the new Life is Strange game was announced at the Microsoft's thing, we were watching this together,
Oh my God.
and I have a child.
Uh-huh. It was late at night too.
It was
we
late at
waited
night.
till the night to watch it.
Joe had to cover his mouth
Oh my
and
God.
scream.
So, I don't want to out myself on the podcast as I just outed you. So it came out and it said you can pre-order it the next day. I could not sleep. I legitimate couldn't sleep that night. It felt like Christmas night. I'm not lying to you.
No.
I swear I did. I've only told Bo this.
Yeah, you didn't let me know this. I
I-
think you were too embarrassed.
I woke up at 5 a.m, or right around that time, and bought the game.
And you were just like,
I couldn't sleep.
and you were just like,
I stayed up till midnight,
you
and then I was like, it's not out yet.
you press the button, you pay for it. You're just like, I wonder what else I can buy. That's along with this.
Yeah. So
That's the most crazy
so
part
there
of
was-
the story.
there's there's 3 different versions of the game: standard, deluxe, or special and deluxe.
In other words, they're all the same bad game, but
Wrong. Wrong. Wrong.
just you get a few more things with it.
But there's also a collector's edition.
There's always a collector's edition,
It does not come with the game though.
which seems like a really weird thing that games do sometimes.
They do now.
I know.
All the time. It's not just Life is Strange that does
You
it.
buy the collector's edition, it gives you a hard case, and it's just like, go buy the game.
Uh-huh. So that was like $50-$60.
Which is pretty cheap for a collector's
Yeah.
edition thing.
And then I bought the $80 game on top of that.
Well, what did you get for the $80?
So you get the base game.
Oh,
Which,
that's good.
dude, you get to play as Max again. And anyone that knows Life is Strange, the community is driving me insane because they're all super pissy about it. And
Is it because of the way she looks?
no, it's because Chloe hasn't been on any of the stuff.
She's
and
probably in it.
I think she will be.
Oh, but is Canon sacrificing Chloe?
Spoilers.
Sorry, that's the first game. It came out when,
Canon.
Joe?
There is no canon ending. Ending.
You got the D in
Ending.
there. At the end.
Yeah. So both endings, because of her time travels, she can, time in different dimensions and different. So
What do
both
you
in,
think the developers are using as their canon ending?
so I will say I am upset at this. It definitely seems like they're going to the sacrifice Chloe
Which
is
is
more
the
of,
right choice.
no, 100% not. That is such a absolute boneheaded pleb thing to say.
Listen,
There is
I
a
want you guys to
list
know.
of things of why
I
that's
want
not
you to
right.
know. I've played this game. It
So
is
good.
what
The greatest soundtrack to any game.
has a good soundtrack. I'll say that it does have a good soundtrack. However, if I was to actually like give like this game an overall description, it's cringe the game.
No, wrong.
Sorry, my bad. Teenage cringe the game.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, it has felt a little weirder to say this is my favorite game series ever.
Yeah, Joe, you're close to 30 years old. Stop
Yeah.
playing these games.
I
At least in
love.
this one, Max is a lot older.
Yeah, but so I'm upset that like the bay. So there's the whole thing in Life is Strange of Bay versus Bay, because they live in a bay, and Chloe is Max's bay. Bay versus Bay. It's this whole thing that you probably are totally unaware of.
Well, no, it just makes me feel bad for all these people who are part of this community.
No, no. Don't feel bad for them because they're all big pissy pants online right now, and
bet
they're
you they
making me
are.
so insanely angry.
I mean, what are you supposed to argue about with this game?
Well, I get being upset, but these are the people making the game. Like we wouldn't get this new game without them. So I'm so excited to
I'm
have
very excited
another.
about. I mean, I'm happy for you. I actually think the game looks far better than all the
It
other ones.
looks so good. Sorry,
Plus, they got rid of the worst part of the game.
don't say it.
What do you mean?
Don't you dare say Chloe was the worst part.
She was the worst part.
No, no. Your kid's sleeping right now, so I don't want to yell at you. That's why in both scenarios of me getting really upset, I've kept it under control.
Oh, okay.
When I tell you, I love those game characters. I'm gonna kind of be careful how I say it because it is kind of strange again as a 30-year-old man.
Hey, when you first played it, though, you were about that same age.
Exactly. I fell in love with these characters. Again, I get very obsessive. So much.
Joe, you know how you were confessing about what makes you really angry sometimes?
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you what makes me really angry.
Uh-huh.
And I'm excited to tell you this.
Yeah.
I get really annoyed with how you really champion really terrible things. Really terrible things.
Other than this,
So, I'll let Joe continue. But for those of you, like, I have played the game.
uh-huh.
I had not played the second one, Into the Storm or whatever it is.
Before the Storm,
Whatever.
which is the best game in the series in my opinion.
Okay, well.
Which is all about Chloe. Continue.
So bad.
Which I hate Rachel. Sorry.
Me
Continue.
and my wife played it together.
Yeah.
And she, to her credit, was giving you the benefit of the doubt. The
Yeah,
whole
because
time.
your
Until
wife
one
is a
scene,
smart person.
Until one scene
Uh-huh.
changed everything.
Yeah, for the better.
You know what I'm talking about. And
You're
anybody
talking
who-
about every Life is Strange fan knows what you're gonna say.
Yeah, so-
every Life is Strange fan.
I'm just gonna say, pool
The pool scene.
is so horrible.
It's not that bad. So
When last? I mean, I shouldn't ask this because I'm probably disappointed. When last have you played that?
after my second knee surgery,
This year. You played the first game this year.
I play both. Life is. I've only played True Colors once, and I never made my way all the way through Life is Strange 2.
Oh, did you actually play 2 all the way?
No, I never made my way through.
You
that.
should try.
I should, but they're not Max and Chloe, so I don't care as
Oh.
much.
Oh, is that what it is?
The pool scene. Here's the reason why I think it's bad.
So you think it's bad too?
I think I understand why it's cringy.
Oh, it's really bad.
I think it's mostly because the animation, they couldn't do it
Listen,
very well, so it looks very.
If I had
choppy.
a top 5 worst scenes in gaming,
Yeah.
that's up there. And also, Chloe makes my top 5 worst characters.
Which is madness. Madness.
I will say this: great voice actress.
Ashley Burt or whatever her name is.
You should know.
It's
'cause
Ashley something.
I don't care.
I can't remember.
But-
She's fantastic.
I cannot stand that character.
Can I say something also very polarizing?
Yeah.
Especially to, again, if there's any actually people in the community listening to this. I like the voice actress in Before the Storm
Did they
better.
switch it?
They did. And that's a huge controversy.
And you're on the
I
maybe
like.
the less popular
I'm in the
side.
minority of that.
Oh,
I think she did
a
a
fantastic job with what she was
absolutely
given. She's
fantastic job.
younger in this one, in that one.
Yeah, and it was during one of the writing strikes.
Okay,
And so
so
I think Ashley, again, sorry, I can't remember her last name. She made the right choice. Like, she was a part of a union. She wanted
yeah,
to make, like,
made better conditions for the voice
yeah,
actors.
which they deserve.
Yes.
But I think the other Chloe is, when I think of that, I think of that voice for the
Okay.
Chloe.
Okay.
So,
Needless to say, you will. So this is what I hate, but I guess I hate to love it at the same time. Joe will champion something that is
yes.
completely mediocre.
No, no, it's not. It's
It's
not.
completely mediocre.
It's not. It's good.
And
It's good.
and champion it as the best thing that's ever happened.
What do you think the best game is?
Best game? Is that in your?
It's in my top 5 games,
Is
dude.
this your best game?
Series. Because I can't just choose the one.
Is
I have to
oh,
put the two together.
if you tell me right now, right here, right now, that game is your top.
Yeah.
If you had a top 5 and it was number 1,
Top of all time.
yeah,
We're talking about favorite games.
of all time, which we will not tell all of our top 5s
Yeah.
because that definitely is a podcast in of itself.
Yes.
But if it is,
Uh huh.
I'm going to hit you.
Can I tell you right now? Can I let you know? Right now, I'll let you know. This has been What's with the Lemon, everyone.